So let's talk about how to actually start solving LeetCode as a beginner in 2025. Because when I first found out about LeetCode, I didn't even know what I was walking into. I was just casually talking with someone and they mentioned it. They were like, oh, you should learn DSA and you should start solving LeetCode questions. And I'm like, okay. So I just signed up on LeetCode, LeetCode.com, signed up, and I just dived in, went to the problem section immediately, picked the question. I didn't even know what I was picking. I just picked a random problem, random. And oh my God, see, I made such a beautiful, gorgeous fool of myself that day. I was just going back and forth the question, like, what is this? I couldn't even understand the question, not to talk of trying to solve it or anything. Even at the point of understanding the question, I was lost. It felt as though I was not reading English language. And this is where it gets crazy. You can literally be a working software developer and you don't even have any idea of like solving LeetCode question or any of those things. Because that was me too, and I've met a lot of people like that. So it's not really something that is like this. Even when beginners are being introduced into tech and all of this, people usually would not highlight the need to know DSA or solve LeetCode question as much, right? Because in my case, I was already even working, and at this time, I was already working. But the thing is that if you want to be super good, if you want to join the 1% of the 1%, those elites, 1% of the 1% software engineers, the ones that work at Google, Microsoft, at Meta, Amazon, all of these tech companies, you will need to sharpen your DSA skills and you will need to get comfortable with LeetCode. So now, you know you're not alone. So let me show you in this video how to actually start LeetCode as a beginner in 2025. Step 1, learn data structures and algorithms first. Please, I beg you with everything that you have, please do not skip this process. Don't skip step 1. Please, don't skip step 1. Before you attempt solving any LeetCode question, you must first understand what data structures and algorithms are. What is an algorithm? Why does it matter? How does it matter? What is the data structures? What are arrays? What are stacks? What are queues? What are linked lists? What are hash maps? What does time complexity mean? What does big O does? What is the difference between O of 1 and O of n and O of log n? And why should you care? Understand all of these things, be able to answer these questions at a basic level at least. There are tons of beginner-friendly DSA videos on YouTube. I have a video on DSA explained in the way that a beginner will just get it. You should check that video out. I highly recommend. So start small, don't rush it. You can take a more comprehensive course. I took this data structures and algorithm course on Udemy. I'm going to put the link in the description box as well. If you prefer a more comprehensive course, take it. If you prefer a simpler, shorter course, take it. But overall, please make sure you do not skip this step 1. Step 2, don't pick random problems from LeetCode. Don't do that. Don't just go on LeetCode and pick a problem. Don't do that. When you land on LeetCode, the problems are so much, there's so many problems and they have these interesting titles. So it's always tempting to just click on and see what's up and start there. But don't do that. LeetCode has problems that spans across 3 difficulty level: easy, medium, hard. Start with easy question. And even you can filter it per topic. For example, start with arrays. Easy array question, and then you can move on to strings, you can move on to hash maps, but focus on mastering one area before going to the other. Start from easy question, and you can even filter easy questions. You can filter it by the most solved. The most solved question would usually be the one that most people have attempted, and there's so many submissions and all of that. So you can filter according to the most solved, right? So common problem, two-sum, remove duplicate from sorted arrays. I have videos of me solving this problems on my channel. You should check those out when you get to step 2, not before you get to step 2 anyways. Why do you need to start small? Because starting small helps you to build pattern recognition. You start to notice for yourself, oh, this question looks like I can use a 2-pointer approach. This one looks like I can use a hash map. You will start to have patterns, right? And it really helps in the long run. Step 3, understand LeetCode structure. You might not be so familiar with the LeetCode website, but just try to familiarize yourself with it a bit. When you open a LeetCode problem, this is what you would usually see. You see the problem name and the number. In this case, we have LeetCode 27 and the name is remove element. And then you have a description of the question, basically what you are meant to solve. So I'd advise you always read through this properly. If this is an easy question, you have the tags here. topic is array, and then you have the companies that ask this question. This is a premium feature, so if you're not a premium user, you can have access to it. And then you have the int, but just make sure you read the question very well, very important. And you will be given some examples of input and output, so that when you write your algorithm, you can test with these examples and make sure that you are getting the expected outputs, right? And then you have a code editor where you write your solution. This is where you can edit here, you can write your solution here, and you can choose the language you want to write your solution in. You can change to PHP or to Python or to Java or to C++. You can change the language. I'm using JavaScript here. And usually you would have these test cases here. So when you run your code, it runs and your test cases show whether they pass or where, they don't pass. If I change something here and I run, this would not pass anymore. Look at that, wrong answer. So this would not pass anymore. So those test cases, sometimes you have 3, sometimes you have 2. And of course, you have the run button. And finally, you have the submit button if you want to finally submit your solution. Step 4, read the problem carefully. I already mentioned this in step 3, but I just wanted it to be like a whole point on its own because it's so underrated. Sometimes on my channel, whenever I want to solve a LeetCode question, I always want to read the question first, but it's usually so long. And even I am like, oh my God, people are just going to get tired and bored. But it is so underrated. You need to read and understand the question thoroughly. And in most cases on LeetCode, the question will have some extra conditionals. They could say, oh, don't use an extra space, so modify whatever it's given to you in place. They could say, don't create a new array. They can dictate a particular algorithm for you to use. They can say, oh, your solution must be in O of n, or O of 1, or O of log n. If all of this O of n, O of everything is jumping over your head, please, I have a video on those, on big O notation. If you check that video out, I promise you, if you watch it, you're just going to get it. So if you don't read the question carefully, if you just skim through, you might miss some of these requirements or some of these constraints. So take your time to read the question correctly. So because in some cases, even if your logic is correct and you're not sticking to one requirement or you're moving out of one constraint, you will still get your question wrong. So you should definitely read your question properly. Number 5, step 5, visualize the problem. This works for me every single time. If you have a board in your house, perfect time to bring it out. If you have like a pen or a paper, try to visualize the problem, right? I do this a lot. If you go on my channel, I have some LeetCode problems I solved. You will notice that I keep using Draw, and I will try to just give like a visual solution flow even before I start writing the code at all. It helps to visually solve the problem first. And even when I'm not filming, if I am solving a LeetCode question, I'm definitely writing something down. I'm definitely drawing an arrow from somewhere, because it just helps you to understand what you want to actually write in code. Step 7, understand patterns. See, this one is a secret recipe in LeetCode. There are questions that have similar patterns. If you understand the pattern, you are good to go. If you solve 3 to 4, 5 problems under the same topic, for example, arrays, you start to notice a pattern. You start to notice that you can solve them using the same approach. You'll be like, oh, this one also used 2-pointer approach. This one looks like the one I solved yesterday. So it feels like you're just sliding, and DSA is really about pattern recognition. So the more problem you solve in each category, the more you start to understand that they mostly would follow the same pattern. Even if they are disguised differently, even if they have different conditions, they mostly will follow the same pattern, and that would really help you. Step 8, time yourself like you are in a real interview. If you are in a real interview and they ask you to solve a DSA or a LeetCode question, they won't give you the whole day. They'll probably give you some minutes. So as you practice, you can start by also timing yourself, because if you know what to do and you can't do it in the time range that is given to you, there's no point. So start to practice like you're in an interview. Time yourself. You can set a timer for like 30, 60 minutes. Try not to go anything. Pretend someone is looking at you or someone is asking you a question. Just simulate an interview environment. It will help you build confidence and help you manage time and help you just get used to an interview environment, it's an interview situation, real life interview. Step 9, learn to analyze your solution. Know your time complexity, know your space complexity. If you don't know about time and space complexity, I have a video on that. Don't forget to watch it. So after you finish solving your question and you have your solution, ask yourself, what's the time complexity? What's the space complexity? So you don't just stop at it's working. Ask yourself, can I make this more efficient? If it is using O of n, can I get it to use maybe O of log n? Can I make it better? But you won't be able to make it better if you can't analyze it. And another thing is, if you're in an interview, they could ask you, oh, you've gotten the question, you've submitted your solution. What is the time complexity of your solution? What is the space complexity of your solution? They might ask you to analyze it, so you need to learn how to do that. Bonus tips, because there's no step 10, watch other people solve these problems. Of course, attempt to solve it yourself. But you can attempt to solve it yourself. There's a golden rule I should have mentioned during the time yourself step is this 60-minute rule that people would always say, and I really find it helpful, is don't spend more than 60 minutes on a question. If you're spending more than 60 minutes and you don't know the answer, you still don't get it, 45, 50 minutes, please check other people's solution. Check other people's solution, check YouTube videos, check submission on LeetCode, and try to see how other people solved it. Yeah. So you can learn a lot from how someone else approached the problem. Once you get it, close up their solution and try to do it by yourself again. Don't compare yourself with other people. There's so many videos. I saw 500 LeetCode, I saw 1000 LeetCode. Me say I do my own. But don't be pressured. Learn at your own pace. Get faster. Don't be slow, but don't be pressured. Take breaks. A lot of people struggle at first, and that's fine. That's normal. Starting LeetCode as a beginner is hard, but it is not impossible, right? So in the process, you might feel frustrated, you might feel confused, you might feel stupid or dumb, and that's okay. Everybody has been there. Even the smartest of people have been there. The key is, don't forget to learn your DSA basics first. Start small, start easy, recognize patterns, ask for help whenever you need help, whenever you need to check someone else's solution, please go for it. Whenever you need to ask ChatGPT, ask away. And most importantly, keep practicing, keep solving questions. We're all in this together, because I still have to solve LeetCode questions to myself. I've not even started picking up medium questions like that. So yeah, we're all in this together, but I'm rooting for you. You've got this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor by liking, dropping a comment, subscribing to this channel, turning on your notification for more tech and coding content. See you in my next video. Bye.